It's a not-for-profit agency that allows for contracting out of public safety work in an organized, controlled manner.
In our case, it is the nonprofit. It does have the same legal rules of a nonprofit. It does have the same transparency. But the difference in our case is it's known as what's evolving in Canadian society as the social enterprise. This was announced by the Governor General about 5 or 6 years ago, a speech from the throne, talking about a new kind of structure that's not private and that's not public. It represents the group in the area in the center. What's happened is the economy, the radical changes to the economy have created a much greater need to develop a much more coherent approach in that middle group. The social enterprise is a response to that. So the social enterprise is an organization that says we are about providing services for the social benefit of the community. We're not about profit. We provide salaries, we provide operating costs like any organization does, but we're not about profit. So we don't have shareholders, we don't have dividends, we don't have a corporate veil around us like private companies do. So you can't look inside and see where the profit margins are. In a nonprofit you can. And from our point of view, that's actually a really good thing because it allows us to say, look, we want to deliver a public safety service. We want to do it in a nonprofit environment, but we want to do it using the social enterprise model, which means ultimately our goal is not just to deliver the service, but to provide some kind of social benefit to the community at large. Private companies don't necessarily have that mandate. Their mandate is to make a profit. Ours isn't.
Well, I think with a private security company, you will find yourself engaged with a corporate structure that's more difficult to understand. I think as well there's a lack of openness and transparency when it comes to a private corporation that's providing a service versus a not-for-profit. There are expectations in Canada around not-for-profits and what they do with their money and how the money is spent, which I think is all helpful. Not-for-profits immediately give the sense of a community service. And I think that will be helpful when it comes to police agencies who typically are not-for-profit as well, and in fact are out providing a community service. I think it meets perfectly.
CPI is run by and populated by people who have a lifetime of investment in public safety, policing, security, and want to see things go the right way. And that's why we call it the third way or the Canadian way. We're horrified by what we see in the United Kingdom. We're sad about what we see in the United States, and we want to figure out a way to get this done, to bring market forces into the public sector in a controlled way that is acceptable to all the different stakeholders.
There comes a time when you want to make a difference. You want to do what you've done, which is, in my case, it's providing public safety and neighborhood crime prevention. That's what I've been doing. You want to keep doing that, but you want to do it in a way that delivers the service so that your budgets aren't cut or that the purse strings aren't pulled because there's no funds for that. You're committed and you believe in public safety. You believe in the fact that we still have high crime, far too high in too many communities, and you want to do that.
People like us, we want to give back to the community at this stage of our lives, and we want to see a better Canada. Canada has a very good reputation in the world, and we'd like to sort of, keep that reputation. I think as we look at crime and what the rates are and where the issues are, we could set up special, advisory groups and invite members of the community to participate in that and get ideas from them. And because we'll have some funding, we'll be able to do more work in those areas and maybe even fund some of these programs.
I think CPI brings, first of all, a level of experience in that board that I haven't seen in any other organization that provides security. I think secondly is that we don't just provide security. We're actually going to provide a solution. So you tell us what your concern is, you tell us what you're trying to attain, and I believe we could develop a solution to meet your expectations.
Not-for-profit, you have your staff. It's paid for. You can keep your administration to a reasonable level, the bureaucracy. And anything above and beyond that, you pump back into your infrastructure or your training or your evaluation, auditing, or whatever. So there's a way less risk in dealing with a company that might change next week if it's for profit, not for profit. We're around for quite a while. We're around here to stay.